Hello friends and enemies. Welcome to the weekly vlog. I asked y'all to guess last week if you had any guesses for this week's theme. And yeah, it's the books that have been following me around on TikTok. Not all of them. We're doing 4 tentatively because the way September is shaking out, I'm just like wanting some themed vlogs to guide my reading a little. So this felt like a good opportunity. Also, you all have seen me in the same outfit 3 times now. Sorry, not sorry. It is what it is. I'm, trying to get myself together for my little girls weekend that I am on right now as you're watching this, and I cannot wait. So yeah, I'm reading 4 or 5 books that are following me on TikTok because I'm adding one because I want to read it and I want to talk about it. Also because I have gotten like 4 or 5 TikToks of it in the last day or 2, so like I feel like it counts. So yeah, I did that video a little bit ago where I talked about the books that have followed me around on TikTok, and I was like, let's read some of them. I'm not gonna read all of them because I don't know when I'll do the video again. So like maybe it'll be another themed vlog later in the year. But I'm going to read Assistant to the Villain, My Dark Romeo, Morbidly Yours, Bonded by Thorns, and Only for a Week. So Only for the Week is the newest edition because, again, I keep seeing this book everywhere, and I was just kind of like, I really want to read it. So we're going to add it to this vlog. And I want to make sure I talk about it because, like, it just looks so good. I've already started it, honestly. I'm liking it a lot, but we'll get there. As always, I'm going to have timestamps for you down below if you want to skip around. I will do my best to not spoil anything, and if I'm going to spoil it, there'll be an extra timestamp. So be sure to check those as needed. And let's throw it to me reading Assistant to the Villain because I already have news. It was the time because I already finished it. So enjoy! So I am officially like made progress in Assistant to the Villain, which is the first book for this vlog. I'm listening to an audiobook from the library, so I'm kind of like following along loosely in my physical book. And I'm gonna finish it. I am gonna finish it. But we've got to discuss this book, and I don't think it's been well marketed, okay? I feel like people, like, obviously this doesn't mean this is the only thing Red Tower does, but people expect spice in Red Tower books. And this is like a slow burn kind of entry. You know what? Oh my God. Is this the Red Tower thing? Is Red Tower the entry point to fantasy romances for people? Is that what they're trying to do? That just might be all they're trying to do, because this is so far cute. I don't think it's getting higher than a 3 from me. I think the writing suffers. I think it needed more developmental edits. I think it just is lacking some follow through on the writing. And honestly, Fourth Wing needed the same thing, but Fourth Wing was better written because Rebecca Yarros, like, again, I'm not saying Fourth Wing was like amazingly written, but comparatively Fourth Wing is better written because Rebecca's been writing a lot longer and she has a lot more experience, whereas Hannah is a newer writer. She got picked up off her skits on TikTok and wrote this series. I think that's what's happening here. But yeah, I've just found the writing clunky. I don't necessarily have like specific sentences to pull out, but I'll find some, okay? Like, I'll find some to explain what I'm talking about more as I go. But at 86 pages in, this is cute. I wish this was just YA, though. I think I would love this if it was marketed as YA and not adult, because it does not read like an adult novel. And that's a big issue, in my opinion, with this book, is that it doesn't read like an adult novel. And I wish it did. Like, through and through, I wish it read like an adult novel. And that's going to be a lot of people's struggle beyond the lack of any sex on page. Because again, I don't think people expect that when it comes to the Red Tower books and how they're being shared. And it's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with things being closed door, right? But you need to explicitly market your books to say that. You need to be clear that some of your books are one or the other, or what is inside. Now, especially with covers like these that, again, communicate nothing. But the cover does also give me YA vibes. And there's our little Kingsley. I do love our little frog friend. He's cute. But yeah, it's just kind of okay. The audiobook is not great. I don't love the narrator, but I'm powering through because I need to get some things done today. And that was my best option. So yeah, at 80 some pages, 25% or so, we got a good chunk left. We'll see what happens. It's already optioned for 2 more books. So I would also be curious if this doesn't sell well, what that looks like for this series. Is it just gonna like not get published or what? They're coming out over the next 3 years. So it's also not like Iron Flame and stuff, in which we got a book and we got another book in the same year, which again, also is not a bad thing. Like, I don't mind that. I just think, is this a story that's going to be served by books released every year versus if they'd been coming out like 6 to 9 months apart? I don't know. Curious to see where the rest of this goes. But yeah, so far I'm just like, interesting. I don't mind the villain character, but Evie really does read like an old school young adult romance heroine. She is bumbling and not together, and she's 23, and I get it. And she's providing for her family and all this stuff. So like, I get it. But I'm also like, you're 23. Get it together. There's also no world building at all. Like, you were just told things and don't ask questions. Roll with it. See, it's putting Millie to sleep behind me. See? Knocked out. She's so bored by this. But yeah, that's where I'm sitting right now. I think this book definitely has an audience for certain people. And I think I can tell you who it's going to work for. But I can also tell you right now this book is not going to work for a lot of people that come to it from Book Talk and are expecting something very different than what it is. All right, I'm going to go and do some more things around the house, and I'll be back to talk to you soon.
I'm looking up from my window. Sun's coming up like the day before. You're like a stone on my pillow. I don't make a sound when I shut the door. You don't have to wake up yet. We can spend all day in bed. I'll put the TV in the room. We'll have a nap.
I finished. Where is my physical book? Whatever. Anyways, I finished it. I finished Assistant to the Villain. And y'all, I'm not keeping that book, first of all. I mean, if it like starts going for a lot on Pango, I'll sell it, like whatever. But I'm not keeping that book. Like, you cannot pay me to keep that book. Also, like, it was so bad. Like, listen, like the setup, the premise, not bad. The execution, the development, the characters, the audio narration, bad. All around bad. Like, it was not well narrated. The writing was so clunky, which you can tell through the narration. And my battery's dying, so hold on, I'll come back to it. We were not risking this rant vanishing because the battery died. But like, okay, so I finished the book. I bulk filmed a couple videos. I introed this vlog. I'm back. I'm in my Good Girls Read books shirt. And I'm having so many feelings about this book. I felt like I needed to cool off for a minute after I finished it. First of all, I need everyone to know before they pick this book up, there is literally a ginormous old school YA style cliffhanger at the end of this thing. So like, go in knowing that. Maybe don't read it yet. I'm a little peeved about that cliffhanger. I'm not gonna lie to you. But the other things I'm peeved about are the fact that this book needed like developmental edits, which means like they needed an editor to help come in and develop the story, give a little more substance to the characters. They were so flat. Oh my god, they were so flat. So flat. And I can just enjoy a thing for being what it is, but this was like, I could not just enjoy this for being what it is, okay? Like, it was not good. It was not good. It was so disappointing, and I was so hopeful I would like this, okay? And I looked at the reviews, and I was like, oh no. Oh no, a lot of people I know DNF'd this at 30%. A lot of people I agree with DNF'd this at 30%. Oh no. And then I was like, oh shit. The more I read. And honestly, I'm glad I didn't DNF it. I am almost curious enough to pick up book 2 from the library to like read it next year. I don't know. Like, I'm giving this 2 stars. Like, this is not good. I do not recommend this book. The writing felt so clunky and weird. And I also read, like, if you've ever read a book that you know was marketed as YA, originally, or like tried to be sold as YA, and they were told to age it up to be adult, because this happens, that's how this book read. That is how this book read. And I didn't like it. I think that, like, it suffered massively for this. I also, you know, it's her debut book. It's her first book. Like, maybe book 2 will be much better because she'll have more skill now. But I still feel like Red Tower, like, did her dirty by not providing more edits and more things. And then I heard from someone that Red Tower doesn't necessarily have, like, editors in the way you might have expected. So yeah, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I just, like, I don't want to be a hater, right? Like, I don't want to hate a thing. But, like, this was just lacking. And, like, the villains, like, reasoning were so dumb. The, like, entire, like, reveal at the end, I don't want to spoil it. I'm trying to talk about this without spoiling it. I don't want to, like, just in case. I might do a spoiler section. But yeah, like, it's just, like, the reasoning was so silly and not great. The end reveals, how that all worked was weird. Like, I felt like we as the reader should have known a little bit more than we did by then. And yeah, at the end of the day, the audio narrator was not great. Apparently they also narrated Lightlark or something, and that was also not good, so take that for what you will. I definitely did not have a good time with this. Like, I had funny moments. Like, I giggled. I actually enjoyed Kingsley, our companion dude, little froggy man who would hold the sign up. Like, I actually didn't hate him. I thought he was kind of fun. But I just didn't really, like, I didn't really care about any of the other characters. I didn't really care about any of the reveals. I was, like, semi, like, ooh, cute when the villain would be cute to her. But, like, at the same time, I was like, whatever. This is going nowhere. Like, they're not even gonna, I don't even think they really kiss in this book. They maybe kiss once. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, whatever. It felt like, and somebody had said it reads like middle grade. And it kind of does. Like, it kind of reads like my first fanfic. You know? Like, that kind of thing. And that's not a bad thing. It's just, like, it's being published traditionally. It shouldn't read like my first fanfic. It should read a little better. And I think I'd have a lot more grace if it was indie, honestly, and like self-pubbed, but it's not. So yeah, I didn't like it. So don't recommend. I'm still gonna enjoy her skits, but I think I'm good otherwise. On to the next book, which I've already started. I was like, I've got to get this book out of my mouth. Like, I have to get this taste out of my brain. And that is Bonded by Thorns. I'm actually buddy reading this with Shay. Although, there's a chance I'm going to finish this book before Shay even does, because for once in my life, we're buddy reading something that I don't want to put down. I'm on I just got to chapter 6. And let me tell you, it took a lot for me to pause this and film. I was just like, I don't want to put this down. So we have a Why Choose Beauty and the Beast retelling. This features 4 fae princes. Our heroine, she's in the modern world right now, and her mom vanished. Her dad's convinced fairies took her. And he is the town weirdo. It is set in the Pacific Northwest currently. And we are about to take a journey, I think, out of the Pacific Northwest into fairy. And I'm excited. I really like this. I have already loved some of the call outs to Beauty and the Beast, like the childhood movie of my like faves. I have enjoyed our character development so far. It's really cute. You know, she talks about reading romance books and just like how she's living and trying to like get by day to day while her dad's just off on the run and Grumps is calling me. So I'm going to continue reading that tonight, and I will be back to update you soon, and I'm going to talk to him. Bye. Good morning. I was up. Y'all, I was up. I was up late last night. Again, well, not late, but not late. So I forced myself to sleep. Okay? I forced myself. I was like, listen, you've got to go to bed. But I made it 75% through Bonded by Thorns. So we have to talk, because I read this car. I was reading this book in the car, which like I do, but like I was reading it on my phone in the car because I was like, I don't want to stop. And we went to go grab dinner last night, so on our way to dinner I read the book, and on our way home I read the book, and then I like switched back to my audio. So like I'm doing a blended read through of this. I will note, if you do a blended read of this, some of the words are gone in the audio. Like not a lot and nothing like significant, but there are just portions missing, which is interesting. And I don't know if maybe I need to try and update the Kindle version I checked out. Obviously, I'm really enjoying this. The thing that is happening in this book for me, I think that is hitting all of my like romance fantasy spots, is the way the Beauty and the Beast theme is being like thrown in. Because it's not just thrown in, like it's integrated into the story. It's not just like oh, here's a little sprinkle of it. No, like we have 4 princes who turn into beasts at night. We have her saving her papa from being trapped in the castle and swapping places with him. And we have just like so much Beauty and the Beast lore in this that I'm like frothing at the mouth for more. I also really like all the princes. Like I don't find any of them unappealing, so that's fun. And I even like the villain, and that's exciting. Like I'm intrigued by the villain. He made me giggle quite a bit in this book. But also this one is just like, it's hitting the spots of what I want out of a fairy Beauty and the Beast retelling. And okay, Millie, I'm really excited to see where this goes and what happens. But I don't know yet, like obviously what's going to happen or where this goes. But I'm excited for it at the very least. I don't want to spoil it, but there's a thing that happens. She visits one of the realms, and the thing that happens after that, I was just like, I can't put this book down. Also, to break the curse, of course, they all have to find their fated mate and have the mate bond happen. And so we're kind of meandering through figuring that out. And, you know, we all, as a reader, have our suspicions of what's about to happen. / we know as romance readers. But I'm really curious to see who the first one is that, like, hears or feels the mate bond. I guess more feeling. But yeah, my God, this has been so fun. We also had a really great, 2 of the princes have, like, a relationship together. And she ends up, like, walking in on them. It's fucking hot as hell. So hot. So yeah, I'm just like really, really excited to finish it tonight. So, no, this morning, not tonight, this morning. I'm going to finish it this morning, and then I have to start another book, but like, I don't want to. I just want to read this series. But also the 3rd book doesn't come out until December. So I think I will read book 2 in October, and then in December I'll read book 3 probably, because I feel like I'm going to blow through them in about a day. So we're going to like give ourselves a little bit of pacing here. But I will be back to talk to y'all very soon. It is evening. It's like 10:30. And I have 2 updates for you. First of all, I'm getting my pajamas. I'm going to get ready for bed here. But I finished Bonded by Thorns, and I'm obsessed with it. I'm also pissed. I'm pissed that book 3 doesn't come out until early December. And I'm like really, 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 really torn on when I want to read book 2. Like, do I read it sooner and then I'm just waiting? Do I wait and read it like late October and then I only have to wait like a month-ish? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So if you've read book 2, Woven in Gold, let me know what I should do, because I literally like finished this book and was like, I want to read the second book immediately. So I don't know if after I finish this vlog, I dive in. 5 stars, 6 stars, a favorite. I am obsessed potentially. It's probably like a 4.5 right now, but if I like the whole series, it's probably a 6-star favorite. You'll want to hit all my Beauty and the Beast spots. They're in this book, okay? Also, the way it ended, I screamed a little. We got quite the reveal. I'm doing like a TikTok short reel situation thing where I record myself as I finish books, and this one is just me throwing my Kindle because I was so mad at the reveal. Not because I think it's a bad reveal, but because I literally like didn't see that happening, and I was just like, damn it. So yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited for book 2, and I'm so excited for book 3. I don't know if it's going to be more than a trilogy or not. I don't really care, honestly. I think I'd easily read 4 books about this. But also, I started the next book.
Shut the lights, go infrared. Oh, we can spend all
Did buy the audio for and got it from KU, so I got like the cheap audio because it was a longer audio than I expected for the length of the book, but I just wasn't sure because I don't, like, caveat here, I generally don't like LJ Shen. I don't like her as a human, but I also generally don't like her books. Like, I find them to be the kind of book you read when you just want something you can read and like kind of pulls you through the story like really quickly because it's very dramatic and over the top. That's LJ Shen to me. And I don't mind that necessarily, but her general antics just aren't for me. If you don't know, she's kind of a known bully. I don't know if she's cleaned up her act or not. But she's also like sent fans after readers, so it just gets dicey. But because of the way I kept getting served this book, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this book. So I'm like fully prepped to hate this book. And at 29% in, I don't hate it. I do have issues though. Like, it has things in here that I generally just do not like. Like, we have a virgin heroine because like that's what's considered like the thing in her society that she comes from, which is of course Georgia and of course the South, which again, I don't love the like Southern belles stereotype we have going on with Dallas, our heroine here. Romeo is just an asshole through and through, and the fact that he's willing to ruin her reputation to piss off her fiance and ruin that engagement tells me all I need to know about his character. But also I really like reading about them, two of them going head to head, because Dallas is not going to back down. Okay, like, she did not give two fucks. She is like, I'm gonna fuck your world up, buddy, because you fucked mine up. So like, I appreciate that, but I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be a 3-star for me, because like there's already been stuff that I was like was weird. Like, he made her like sit between his legs on the floor on the plane and then like patted her head and then he put her in his lap, and I was like, this is weird. And I think that's one of the scenes that I've seen TikToks of. I'm particularly waiting for the one where they're in Paris on their honeymoon and she goes and spends all his money, because I like that. That's fun. He is also an arms dealer, and I just like, he sells weapons to militaries, and I was just kind of like, in 2023, that's what we're having our heroes do for work, really? In 2023? See, I don't love that. We're coming up on their wedding now, so I'll have thoughts in the morning as I get a little further in, but I'm enjoying it for as much as more than I thought I would. So again, that doesn't mean it's like a 5-star favorite. It's like this is better than I expected situation more than anything. But I'm gonna go wash my face. I'm gonna get ready for bed. I'm gonna listen to a little bit more of this audiobook, and I'll talk to you about it tomorrow when I made some more solid progress. You know when you realize you haven't talked a lot today? That's how I feel right now. I've not been talking a bunch. It is Sunday, and oh my god. So I was going to finish my Dark Romeo yesterday, but I had such a bad migraine at about 5 o'clock that I took Excedrin, and I laid in bed, put on my like sleep mask, put on white noisy stuff, and avoided the world for a long time. Like, a very long time. So I didn't really get much further in my Dark Romeo until this morning, in which I made progress. I am currently 64% in, and we're still sitting at a 3. This is not like a groundbreaking, amazing book. This is like that cotton candy book that you're reading, but also like there's so many issues. It's so deeply entrenched in like purity culture stuff that I hate. Our heroine is like a virgin who knows nothing, and that's been very frustrating. And then she just like desperately wants a baby, which like valid, okay? Like, it's not invalid to not want a baby or to want one. Like, either option is fine. But I cannot stand the fact that she is like, that's all she wants. Like, I just wish there was a little bit more to her desires in life. And he like desperately does not want children. So I'm just really curious how that's gonna work. I don't think it has to be either or. Like, I think there can be a middle ground here, but I don't know. I did enjoy him gifting her the books and like putting dust covers on them to hide what was really inside the books. That was really cute. But I also thought at the end of the day, this just wasn't like as amazing as I wanted it to. Like, I didn't want it to be amazing. I honestly expected it to be shit. So it's better than I expected, but it's not as amazing as other people are making it out to be. So I'm kind of just in this weird spot where I'm like, this is fine. Like, this is fine. So yeah, that's what's up right now. I'm going to finish this book. I am literally like, I have like an hour left in the audio and we're about to get on member sprints. I'm at 67%. So I'm at 67%. So I will be done very soon. And also, she still has not shit in his lap. So I do think that post is supposed to be shift or sit. And for some reason, they're like making it different. And I don't know why. To like get attention, I guess. But yeah, so far I just feel like they're both really like kind of two people that deserve each other. In a weird way. So yeah, it's been very interesting. Also, the reason he like has such issues with marriage and commitment about his ex and his dad is nasty. Absolutely nasty. Feels nearly inspired by a series I love, which is the Filthy Rich Americans by Nikki Sloan. But like also so gross. But yeah, I'm gonna finish it up. We're gonna get on sprints here. I'll talk to y'all in a bit.
I get the wine and the corkscrew. You don't have to do one single thing. You don't know how much I want you. Just looking at you makes my whole world spin. You don't have to wake up yet. We can spend all day in bed. I'll put the TV in the room. We'll have a Netflix marathon, Kenny G saxophone. We'll order in a bunch of food. I'll put your favorite music on all the way baritone. Shut the lights, go infrared. We can spend all day in bed.
Hello. So it's like a lazy day, obviously. I am here to discuss the fact that I just finished my Dark Romeo, and I have, first of all, fully dispelling the weird TikToks. He's not shitting on her. She doesn't shit in his lap. Am I disappointed or happy about it? I don't know. I feel like I spent half of the book on edge waiting for that moment. And them TikTok girlies with their weird TikToks about this book need to fix their marketing attempts. Because it was weird to be on edge for that and it not happen. I'm sure there are books in which it happens, and that's fine. Like, it's just not my thing, but I was also on edge for it because I was, like, terrified of it happening. Overall, My Dark Romeo is fine. It's a perfectly okay book. I think it is one of those ones that is, like, wildly unrealistic for a contemporary, which, again, I could say that about any mafia and any other book like that I read. I do feel like it's, like, it truly is enemies to lovers because they do not like each other. But I also think it suffers some because it's such a digestible read, but also is, like, infuriating at the same time to read because it really lacks, like, some of the things that, like, would help it better. Like, I think the plotting was, like, meh. I think the relationship development was meh. I don't feel like we got enough of them together to get, like, the relationship development you kind of would have wanted for this to happen. And it's short. I mean, it's short for a Parker S. Huntington book. I don't know the length of L.J. Shen's books off the top of my head, but a lot of Parker's books seemed to be pretty long when I was looking. I'm like, My Darling Venom is very long, and I'm not reading that one. Like, absolutely not. That one sounds like trauma, Colleen Hoover style contemporary, which is not my thing. But actually, maybe with a real romance, maybe. But yeah, this was weird. I don't know that I can justify the special edition because I didn't like it that much. Overall, I'm almost curious enough to pick up the next book though, if it's about her little sister who is a bigger disaster than her. I will say, in some ways, and I don't know where Parker lives and I don't know where LJ Shin lives, I almost feel like they are painting Southern women in a light that I don't love in these books, as far as like being idiots, only want to have babies, you know, and then also like the purity culture stuff of like lack of sex knowledge, especially in this day and age when like we all have phones. We can Google how things work. Like, I don't understand that part. And then the reveals about why Romeo was the way he was, I think came too late in the book. Just a little bit. Just a little bit too late. But also, like, that's just me. Just some slight pacing issues. So yeah, I'm, like, gonna give it a 3. It's fine. I think there's a lot worse books to read by LJ Shin. And I honestly couldn't tell you what was Parker and what was LJ. And I've never read a Parker Huntington book. I know that, but I assumed I would notice more things in this writing that stood out as LJ Shin. But yeah, I'm almost disappointed that there was not the scene that I kept getting on TikTok. Now, we did have a scene that I do adore, which is the taking his card and spending all his money. That was fun. But yeah, and he does like do things. I think he needed to grovel more also. I feel like the hero did not grovel to get his redemption with our main character. And he also like switched tunes really quickly as far as like wanting kids to not wanting kids, like not wanting kids to then wanting kids. But yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting time. I'm glad I read it, and now I can swipe every time I see a video that I think is that book. Because sometimes I'll stop and be like, ooh, and then I'm like, no, it's the same fucking book. It's always the same fucking book. Maybe TikTok will stop feeding me this book all the time. So yeah, there's that. That's all I got right now.
I'll put your favorite music on all the way baritone.
Okay, so I'm officially 28-ish% into Morbidly Yours right here. Also have it, Alexa reading it to me, so I'm kind of like dual tandem hybrid reading. Whatever you call it. Anyways, I gotta wash my face still. I am really enjoying this book. Like, I'm really enjoying this book way more than I expected to. I was pretty sure it wouldn't fully be for me, but currently I'm really just liking the tension build of their like friendship to interest. It appears that Callum, our love interest, is asexual and or demisexual. I'm not really sure yet. Or some kind of aromantic. Like I said, I'm not the best with ace identities, but he's something. Okay, like we are working our way towards something here, and that's really exciting and fun to have in a hero in a book. But also, Laurie has been a really interesting character. You know, she's dealing with a lot of grief here. We are following her like moving to Ireland for a project. She's an animator, works in like film, and she lost her husband. We don't know how she lost him yet, but like he's gone. And she's kind of grieving that process, and that was part of her running away to a new place. And Callum is 34, and when he turns 35 in like 9 months from the book's time, like date and time, he's supposed to be married so that he can inherit the family business of the funeral home and like mortuary and all that. So like it's an interesting setup so far. Honestly, I've really enjoyed it. I do like quick content notes here for anyone to take before you pick this up, because I know I've just started it and I've not given full thoughts. But if you're like, oh, that sounds good, there is like on-page discussion of how some things work in the process for funerals. Not like gross or disrespectful or anything like that, but you know, he is like doing a task around prepping someone. So be aware of that. I'm not a horror person generally. Like I like YA horror. I like more paranormal horror, I guess. And this was fine. But yeah, and then obviously grief and loss of a spouse and stuff like that is in this book as well with Lark's story. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it. I need to harass my bestie. She's actually from Galway, which is where this book is set, to read this because I want to know her take on it. I do not know what Peas is doing in the other room. If you can hear that, I apologize. But yeah, it is 11:30 and I've just been like happily reading this book for a while now. So I'm gonna go wash my face because I still have makeup on. I don't know if you can tell, but I still have makeup on. I need to go wash my face. Then I'm gonna keep reading and I will be back to you in a little bit. Or in the morning, most likely. Probably in the morning.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with me. Be free.
I finished Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks yesterday and forgot to update you because I had a live read along with Bree over at In Love and Words We Read Stuffed, which is also going around on TikTok right now if you're curious. But yeah, we did a members read along, so we had like chapter stamps on there and stuff. So if you're a member for either of our channels, be sure to check that out if you haven't yet. I think there were some issues with YouTube actually sending out the notifications. So yeah, it was a good time. Just, yeah, I highly recommend. But I read Morbidly Yours before that, and I loved this book. I'm surprised at how much I like this book. I was really nervous going in that I was not going to like it. I just was not sure if it was going to be for me. But this felt like a really just fun, I giggled, I like swooned, I was sad. Like I had all the emotions in this book like a rom-com kind of usually gives me. So I feel like the labeling's pretty accurate. I also think this was just such an interesting setup. Do please go in with caution around those content warnings around grief and things like that because it's a lot, but I think it was handled really, really well. I don't have experience with it. Like I have experience with grief, but not like with loss of partner grief. So I just feel like it was, I don't know, it felt good. Like it felt good to read it. It felt well handled overall. And I can't recommend you check it out enough. I also I think the writing was really good for a debut. Like I'm impressed. It has a really, really strong writing in it. And I think it has just like, it just surprised me at the end of the day. But yeah, I finished this. And then as I edited the video together last night, I was like, this is already a little long for me. So I was going to read Only for the Week, and I've started Only for the Week. And this is what I'm going to tell you right now. I'm loving it, but I'm going to continue into my weekend vlog with the girls trip because I have to go pick up someone I have to leave in like 5 minutes to go pick them up. So here's your hint on who's on the girls trip with me. There is someone else who talks about the bookish world and what's happening. Someone I do a thing with, and they do a thing with another person on the trip. And lastly, another booktuber that lives in Nashville. Take your guesses in the comments. I'm pretty sure we'll post a picture later. You'll see a picture of all of us together on Friday on my socials, which is probably when this is going up. We'll see when I get this edit done. But yeah, I hope you had fun. I don't know. This was a mess. I had a really bad job at time management because I was prepping for people to stay with me for the night. So I would love to know which of these books you want to pick up. And if you don't want to do that, let me know which book you want me to read next from that list before. The video will be linked down below. If there was one that like stood out to you and I haven't read it yet, let me know. And if you don't want to do that, you can leave me travel related emojis because, you know, your girl's going to the airport and not even flying. So like, I must like them or something. I joke, I do. I'm very excited about this weekend. So yeah, you can leave me travel related emojis, and I will see y'all in just a few days in my next video, and I will be back next week with the vlog of this weekend and only for the week being read. I feel bad not getting to it, but life, it happens. I will have links to everything down below for you, as well as links to my friend on the internet, of course, and I will talk to y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Now look at